Today on Ask the First Selectman, we have yet another question about trees. There was recently a hearing by the tree warden, which some people say devolved into an ugly scene. And there were a number of questions that came in about how do we maintain civility and respect in our town government process. John?
Civility in all of our municipal proceedings is at the top of my list. And I think the very first stop in that is that anyone on my side of the desk, so these are elected officials, town employees that have interface with the public in, say, a public session, the very first thing is that folks on my side of the table, we have to take civility very seriously. We don't respond in such a way that or present ourselves in such a way that encourages or elicits incivility. I think it's very important on our side to maintain a civil discourse at all time. And I take great pride in the fact that everyone I know or that has held public sessions or public meetings takes that just as seriously as I do. And so the first thing is example setting. And I encourage everyone in municipal government to do that. And when I find out it's not happening, they get a phone call from me. On the other side of the equation, in terms of citizen involvement, I think the first thing we have to accept is that sometimes these are heated issues and need to be discussed, and people have strongly held opinions, and they're going to have that. But it's very important for everybody who shows up at one of these meetings that this is Darien, and we take civility seriously. And I know at some of these recent meetings, there have been a few times where citizens got up and you know what? They didn't follow those rules. They didn't take that seriously. I think based on what I saw at that particular meeting, if it had gone on maybe another 30 seconds at that level of intensity, I would have shut it down. And just so everybody's on notice, if I find myself in a meeting like that and I see it becoming uncivil, I will shut the proceedings down and we will reschedule it to another day when folks can be a little bit more calm. Again, I recognize that these are sometimes passionate topics, but we draw a line on that, and I will draw the line in the future if I find out that there's a problem in this regard. But that's not meant to shut down dialogue or to discourage people from expressing their views. It's very important as a member of town government that we make ourselves available to listen to people and take their views seriously, which I do at all times. At the same time, it is critically important that as adults that we all set examples for other people in our dealings with town government. You can get across your point, you can make your argument, you can make your voice heard without name calling, without being angry, without shaking your fist, or without making a lot of impertinent accusations, right? If you are going to do those things, you better make sure you've got the facts to back it up. But if you make those types of accusations without those types of facts, that is just simply unacceptable. It's unacceptable across the country in all forms of government, and it's unacceptable in this town. So bottom line is civility is a choice, and I would encourage everybody to make that choice.
Got a question about town government, civil or otherwise? Send it along to us, and we will ask the first selectman, John Zagrodzky, on an upcoming show. Our email address, dariantv79@gmail.com.